Hello, and welcome to today's news discussion. I'm Dana, and I'm joined by Matt. We've got a lot to cover, so let's dive right in.
Hey, Dana. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to discuss the latest news with you.
Let's start with some breaking news from the Middle East. Israel has sent Iron Dome anti-missile batteries and personnel to the UAE to defend against potential Iranian attacks.
That's a significant development. It shows how serious the situation is between Iran and Israel/UAE. The U.S. ambassador to Israel made this revelation, which adds weight to the story.
Exactly. The Iron Dome is a sophisticated defense system, and deploying it to another country is a big deal. It also speaks to the strengthening ties between Israel and the UAE.
Absolutely. Their normalization agreement, brokered by the U.S., has clearly led to some level of military cooperation. But it raises questions about how this might escalate the conflict with Iran.
That's true. Iran has been threatening to attack Israel and its allies. By deploying the Iron Dome, Israel is showing it's taking those threats seriously.
The whole region is on edge. The cost of the U.S. involvement in any potential war with Iran is also skyrocketing.
Speaking of which, the Pentagon just announced that the U.S. cost of the Iran war is nearing $29 billion.
Wow, that's a staggering amount. It's about $4 billion higher than the previous estimate just 2 weeks ago. The financial burden is clearly mounting.
And it's not just the financial cost. The political implications are huge, especially with President Trump's involvement.
Trump's proposed Golden Dome missile defense program is estimated to cost $1.2 trillion over 20 years, far more than the initial $175 billion price tag.
That's mind-boggling. The Golden Dome is a massive undertaking, and the cost overrun is unprecedented.
Not to mention the technological and logistical challenges of putting weapons in space. It's a complex and potentially destabilizing project.
The Congressional Budget Office's estimate is a serious wake-up call. It's hard to see how this gets justified, especially with such a hefty price tag.
I think it's safe to say that Trump's initial estimate was, shall we say, overly optimistic.
Understatement of the year. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. What's new in the world of business?
There's a roundup of market news on business today, but nothing to stand out. Although, Asian shares are trading mixed after Wall Street's rally, despite Iran war worries.
That's right. The market is reacting to the geopolitical tensions, but there's also optimism driven by the record rally on Wall Street.
The analysts are saying that global equities are dangerously dependent on a few AI leaders, which creates a fragile underlying structure.
That's a great point. The AI bubble is a concern. And on the economic front, the RBI has canceled the license of Sarvodaya Cooperative Bank in Mumbai.
Yes, the bank's capital and earning prospects were deemed inadequate. This will impact depositors, although they're insured up to 5 lakh rupees.
It's a tough decision, but necessary to protect the larger financial system. Okay, let's move on to some sports news.
Sadly, we've got some tragic news. Brandon Clark, the Memphis Grizzlies forward, has passed away at just 29.
Oh no, that's shocking. The NBA community is in mourning. No details on the cause of death yet?
Not yet. The team, his agency, and the NBA have all confirmed the news. It's a huge loss for the basketball world.
Losing young talent is always devastating. On a different note, Tiger Woods is dealing with a DUI case in Florida.
Yes, his lawyer and prosecutors are set to argue over whether his prescription drug records should be handed over to the state.
The legal battle is heating up. If the judge decides the records are necessary, there'll be a protective order limiting their release.
It's a complex case, and Woods' team is fighting hard to keep those records private.
We've also got some nostalgic news. Craig Morton, the former NFL quarterback, has passed away at 83.
Morton was a legendary quarterback who played for the Cowboys and Broncos. He was one of only 4 quarterbacks to start a Super Bowl with 2 different teams.
What a career! His legacy lives on in NFL history.
In more recent sports news, the Oklahoma City Thunder swept the Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA playoffs.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 35 points, and Chet Holmgren made a tie-breaking dunk. It was a thrilling game.
The Thunder's performance was impressive. They played a great series against the Lakers.
Now, let's talk about some entertainment news. Bonnie Tyler is reportedly seriously ill but stable after surgery.
Yes, friends are worried about her condition. She had emergency intestinal surgery and is now recovering.
We hope she recovers soon. She's a legendary singer. And in other entertainment news, Conan O'Brien is set to host the 2027 Oscars for the 3rd year in a row.
That's great news for comedy fans. He's done a fantastic job hosting the Oscars the past 2 years.
It's going to be a fun show. And finally, Rex Reed, the controversial film critic, has passed away at 87.
Yes, he was known for his sharp tongue and prominent voice in cultural criticism.
Reed's reviews were always a mix of praise and scathing criticism. He'll be missed in the film community.
On a more positive note, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 3 is set to premiere on November 11th, and Season 4 is already confirmed.
That's exciting news for fans of the series. The show is doing a great job of expanding the Lord of the Rings universe.
The upcoming season will focus on the War of the Elves and Sauron. Can't wait to see how it unfolds.
On a more serious note, there's concern about a potential hantavirus outbreak in the UK. 22 Britons are isolating after being evacuated from a cruise ship.
That's alarming. The isolation is happening near a premature baby unit, which adds to the concern.
The situation is being closely monitored. Let's hope it doesn't escalate further.
Similarly, a Dutch hospital has quarantined 12 staff members after a protocol breach involving a hantavirus patient.
It's a reminder of how quickly infectious diseases can spread if protocols aren't followed strictly.
On the environmental front, Mumbai is facing a 10% water cut starting May 15th due to declining reservoir levels.
The BMC is urging citizens to use water judiciously. It's a precautionary measure, but necessary given the low water levels.
There's also a disturbing report about widespread sexual harassment and POSH Act violations at TCS Nashik.
The NCW's fact-finding panel found pervasive sexual harassment and zero compliance with the POSH Act. It's a deeply disturbing situation.
The report has led to calls for stricter safeguards and an ongoing police investigation.
Lastly, there's been a deadly bombing in a Pakistan bazaar, killing at least 9 and wounding over 24.
The attack was carried out by rigging a bomb to a rickshaw. It's the second deadly attack in the region in days.
The violence in Pakistan is a serious concern. We hope the situation stabilizes soon.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining me, Dana, for this in-depth discussion on the latest news.
Thanks, Matt. It's been a pleasure discussing these stories with you. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye, and take care.